Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm Megan and I have a 3-month-old daughter. Well, she's nearly 4 months now, it's mad. A 3-month-old daughter, and I just create content about motherhood, lifestyle, marriage, all that kind of thing. So yeah, please subscribe if you're new, and if you like this video, give a big like down below and check out my other videos. So I'm actually in a new filming place. So basically, if you haven't seen my other videos, or if you don't follow me on Instagram, you won't know, but I actually put this, so Peter, my husband, got an egg chair for me for my birthday, and we live in Northern Ireland, so it is like always raining here. So an egg chair is usually supposed to go outside. It's like a garden egg chair, but he had the idea of like kind of putting it inside and in like our living room, and I'm kind of like really loving it. I put a poll on my Instagram and like everyone voted like they loved it, so yeah, I kind of hated it at the start, but I actually really love it now. So, well, I didn't hate it, but I think I was just a bit, I thought it was a bit strange. I will show you, like, I'll put like a clip in of like what the living room looks like now, with the egg chair in. So I have a new filming spot now. That was not the intention, but I thought, you know what, I'm gonna sit here and film because it's a really comfy chair and I can just sit and swing. I'll try not to swing though, because I know that's probably annoying, like moving and stuff. So yeah, anyway, stop rambling. So for today's video, I'm going to chat about some baby names that I loved but didn't use. So my baby is now, she's a girl, she is 3 months old, 3.5 months old, and her name is April. So we decided to go with April, and her second name is, our middle name is Olive, so April Olive. And we decided to go with the April. We just really loved that name. That was just like the name that we loved out of the whole list that I have. There was definitely really close contenders for this name, or for her name, but I would say that's definitely like, that was our favourite name. Or she was born in June, so she didn't even like, it wasn't because she was born in April or anything. We just loved the name, and it means like to open and to blossom. So we just really loved the meaning of it as well. And then Olive, we really loved that name as well. So yeah, that's the name we chose for our baby girl. But we had so many different ones, and I'm going to give you kind of like 10 girl names, and then I think I've got like 7 or 8 boy names. We didn't actually have loads of boy names. I actually have way more girl names than 10, but I'm just going to put 10 in this video, and I'll do a part 2 if you enjoy it. But yeah, I have like 7 or 8 kind of boy names as well that we did like if we were going to have a boy. We did find out whenever we were like 20 weeks that she was a girl, so we did like have a lot of time to choose a girl's name. But obviously you think about names, but like whenever you first find out you're pregnant, you're like, oh my goodness, what's the name gonna be? So yeah, we were thinking about loads of like boys and girls names, so I do have a list of both. So if you're pregnant, or you just had your baby and you don't know what to call it, I hope this gives you some inspiration. I do like names that are kind of like sort of different. I grew up, my name's Megan, so I grew up, and my husband's name's Peter. So we both grew up with like very normal like names that kind of other people would have. So I remember being in class and people would be like, or the teacher would say Megan, and like 3 Megans would look up. So I hated that. I really wanted a name, and I really liked names that like, it's not very popular. And that's why I kind of went for April, because even when we went to register her name, the girl who was doing the registering has never registered in April before, so that was really cool. I just really like that she's like, it's not like a normal name, and it's only like, most people would only like call her April if she was born in April. So they're very few and far between. I don't know any other Aprils. And anyone I talk to, they're always like, oh, that's very different, I don't know any Aprils. So yeah, that's why we chose April, and that's why we went for that. So yeah, these kind of names are kind of like slightly different. They're not like your usual like Megan, Peter, Emma, like all those type of names, Beth, all those, not those type of names. So yeah, anyway, let's just get into it. So baby girl names, so I'll start with girls names. So the name I really loved the most secondary to April was Peyton. so it's Peyton. I just really love this name. There was always like I remember like making a baby names list when I was like really young, and this was like one of the main names that was on it. But yeah, I just really love it. I think it's different. I don't actually know any Peytons as well. I just think it's really unique, and it actually means, one thing I'll actually say about like meanings of names, like the reason we wanted to get a name that we liked the meaning of was because someone in our church actually told us like it's whenever you're naming a person, like a child, your baby, you have to name them something that's like got a really nice meaning, because you're actually calling them that every day and you're speaking over that, like their name over them every single day. And if it means something like not very nice, like that's like something you're speaking over them every day. So I always remember that when I was like trying to pick a name, which is why we always looked at the meaning of the names. So yeah, Peyton means regal and royal, so we also really like the meaning of this name as well, like warrior's estate kind of meaning. So we did really like this, but Peter actually didn't love it, so that's why we ended up going with April. Well, not why we ended up, but that's like why we didn't have like Peyton at the top of our list, because Peter wasn't really like a big fan on it. But I really love the name. It's like a name that I've loved forever. The next name is Kaya. This is another name that Peter hated as well, but I loved. I really liked it. And yeah, I just really like this name. I just think it's like really unique, really different. It's not something that you kind of hear either. It's like more like a unique name. But yeah, so I really love that name. The next name is actually Avery. So we actually we got this name from a TV show called Grey's Anatomy, if you've watched it. I literally love it so much. I think there's a new season now, but we can't get it because it's streaming the US. But anyway, we'll get past it. But yeah, so they have like April and Avery, so which we actually really like love their names. That's where we kind of like first heard April from, because we've never like known an April or anything. And then Avery as well. Avery was a very top contender, like we both really loved Avery, and Avery means wise ruler, so we did like the meaning of that too, because you're speaking like wisdom over them and everything. But we kind of thought it was more like a boy's name, so it is on my boys list as well, because I really love the name for a boy. So whenever we were like deciding between April and Avery, we were kind of like, Avery's kind of like reminds us of a boy more, not really a girl. So yeah, we decided not to go for that one, but it's a really nice name, and it was a very high contender for us. The next one is Fiat. This is actually quite a timeless name. I think that like quite a lot of people are called Fiat, but it's also kind of like a name that is like can be used like for an older generation, a younger generation. It's kind of like just kind of throughout generations basically. But we really love this name. The reason we didn't like, we were gonna actually put this in her middle name, but we actually knew someone that has this as their middle name, like very close to us, so we decided we just wanted something different for her, so we decided not to use it, but we really loved the name. The next name is Scion. Well, this was like a quite high contender in our list. This is kind of like a biblical name as well, which is why we really loved it. Yeah, it means holy place and kingdom of heaven, so it's a really nice meaning. But even just not the meaning, but like the actual name's really nice, and it has a Z in it, which is like sort of different, because a lot of names don't have Zs, which I know is like a strange reason for a name, but I just really I think she's awake. So I'm so sorry if the lighting and position of the camera has changed. April just woke up, so we actually went for a walk, and I did a few other things there. So I took like a big break with filming this video, but I'm coming back to finish it, and I've had to move the camera and everything. So yeah, so the next name that we really loved, or that I really loved, was actually Autumn. This is actually I really love this name, but I think it's a lot like better if we kind of born September, October, November. In saying that, like obviously I named my daughter April and she was born in June, but I just think like autumn's quite like it has to be kind of around that time of year, not like a real summer baby, do you know what I mean, because it was the start of summer she was born. So I just think that would have been strange to call her Autumn, but I really love this name. I've actually always loved this name. It's kind of the same as Peyton like has kind of been on my list as like a really nice name. We actually almost called our cat Autumn, and then we ended up going with Chai because she kind of looks more like a chai, like with the colouring and everything rather than Autumn. But another name I really loved was actually India, and Peter actually really liked this name. I think he actually suggested this name at the start, but I just didn't really like it with our surname, so we just decided that it was kind of off the list at the very like quite far off. But I really love the name. The next name is actually Oakley, and I think this is actually like another like quite like not a normal name, it's more a popular name for like 2022 and 2021 and stuff. I seen this on quite like whenever you look up like loads of different names on the internet, this is like one name that kind of popped up quite often. I think it means like the meadow of oak trees, like it's a really nice name, kind of like more naturey. I really liked kind of like naturey kind of names because I just think they're so cute. I've got like some nature names for boys and stuff as well, but I just think they're so nice, like to kind of like bring in nature into what do you call your child. I just think it's really nice. But anyway, yeah, I just really love the name. There's actually a girl on Instagram who's called their boy Oakley, so I think it is like a versatile name, so it's like a boy or a girl name. Personally I would say like it's more like a boy or girl's name, but then it really suits her boy, so I don't know, I think it's both, but yeah, I just really like that name for a girl. The next one is Cali, and this has a really nice meaning. It actually just means beautiful, so like speaking up for your child every day, it's just I think would be so nice. But yeah, I really like this name. I think it's like short for Calliope, that's the name, I think. Yeah, I think it's short for Calliope, which I really like Calliope as well. But yeah, Callie's really nice as well. I think that's in Grey's Anatomy. This is probably where I think we were watching Grey's Anatomy at the time, where we were picking names. But yeah, I really like this name. My sister actually really loved this name. If she was to have a girl, she actually had a boy, but she really loved this name for a girl, and I think that was like one of her top names that she had if she was gonna have a girl. I just think it's really unique. Like you could call your child like Calliope and then have it as like a little short name as Cali. But yeah, I think that would be really nice. And our next door neighbour, she called her little child Cali, and it's just really cute. I just think it's really nice. And it's also like kind of like a timeless name, like they can grow up with it, which is also like a big thing with like names. You don't want to have like two baby name where they don't like can't grow up with it. So like I always thought whenever I was naming April, it had to be like a name that she could like be called it when she was like older, because you don't want to have like a baby name kind of being called when they're older. So yeah, I just really love that name, Cali. And then the last name on our list was Lexi. So Lexi we actually really loved as well. I feel like I keep repeating myself, but we did love these all. Obviously that's why I'm sharing them, because I loved all of these names, but we just didn't use them. But yeah, Lexi's a really nice one, and I think it means let me try it. Yeah, defender of man, which I think is like a good meaning, I suppose. But yeah, I just really loved it, and I think it's like if you want like a name beginning with L. I don't really like names beginning with L, but I think Lexi's a nice name. That was all like kind of that was 10 girl names that I really liked, and like sort of some reasons why. Most of the reasons are literally because they're like quite unique. They have like, they're quite different. But yeah, that was kind of like the 10 top names that I liked, apart from April. So April's on the top of that list obviously, and I also liked Olive as like a first name as well, but we didn't want to call her like Olive as her first name, so we put it in her second name. So yeah, that was kind of a good like alternative, kind of putting it as their second name, because you could use any of these names as their second name as well, if you liked kind of like more than one name. So for boys names, I actually have 7 boys names to share with you, because I think boys names are so much harder to kind of like, it's like find timeless ones as well, which I really liked to kind of, I would really like to find. But yeah, and then we also obviously had a girl, so we had like to think about more girl names, and we knew from 20 weeks. So yeah, I only have like 7 to like find with you, because I'm quite picky with like boys names especially. I was quite picky with girls names. I only had a few with girls until like obviously we found out I had a girl, and then I obviously found more. So yeah, and the first name for a boy, and this would be our top name like that we were thinking of, would be Roman. We really loved this name, and it really went with our surname, so we just really liked it. I don't even know why, we just really enjoyed, like we just really thought it was different. The only Roman we know is like Roman Kemp. I don't know what his second name is, but the DJ, I think it's a DJ, either DJ or like radio presenter in England possibly. Okay, I think I just don't even know who this is, but I think I've heard his name anyway. Anyway, he's called Roman, and that's the only Roman we know, and I just think it's very unique. Like, it's not like a name that you kind of get in like a class of kids, you know, so I just thought it was really nice. The next name is actually Lake. This is a very different name, and it's a very like small niche name. It's like a very niche name, so yeah, I just thought it was really nice. I actually really love like kind of nature names, like just like Oakley and Autumn. I just really love kind of names like that, and I just like wanted to find like a name. I was actually just looking up names, and I was like, is there any names like naturey that kind of would fit a boy? And I really like the name Lake. I just think it was so nice. I think anyone I told, I was like, oh, I really love the name Lake for a boy, and they're like, not sure. But I think it's really nice, and no one else in the class will probably have the same name, so your boy will be standing out, and that'll be good. So he'll not have to answer to 2 names, and he'll not be like Peter and then like 4 Peters look up. So yeah, I just really love that name. The next one is Avery. So like I said, for a girl, I really like the name Avery. For a boy as well, I think it is a unisex name. It's for a girl and a boy. I think they're just spelled differently, like one's with an I and one's with a Y. But yeah, I just really like this name for a boy. Again, I think I said when it was in the girl section that there was a Avery on Grey's Anatomy, and I think it really suited him. I just think it's a really nice name, for like a darker kind of haired baby. And adult, I think it's a timeless name. It kind of grows up with them. So yeah, I just really love that name as well. That was kind of one of the top names for our boys list as well. The next one is Kai. This is kind of like Kaya for a girl's name, but Kai shortened for a boy. I really like this name. I really like this name. I do not mean to say that, but I just did. I just really did. I just thought it was really nice. I'm kind of going through the boys ones a bit faster, just because we obviously had a girl, so we didn't really take too much like thinking into the boys. But yeah, so there was Kai. The next one is Frey. I really like this name actually. It's quite like it is a more niche name as well, because it's like a colour. I suppose it's like, you know, naming your child like April, which is a month of the year, but I just really like the name, and it would be spelled like Gray. I think it's short for Grayson, but I probably wouldn't call him Grayson. I would probably just call him Gray. I just think it's a really like different kind of name, and that like I don't think a lot of people would call their child Gray. So again, like it's something like your child won't have the same name in the class, which I think is a big thing for me with names. I don't know about you, but it is a big name for me. Next one is Landon. I actually think there was a girl who just had a baby, I'm trying to think who it was, on YouTube actually, and they called their baby Landon, and I just think it's just so cute. I saw it the other day and I just thought it was so cute. So I've added to my list for if we ever have a boy. It could be a contender, but yeah, I just really like the name. I don't even know what it means, but I just think it's quite different, and it can't really be shortened. I don't really like names that can't be shortened, so like I would never call my child Grayson, because then it'd be short to Gray, so I'd rather just call them Gray, so they just be called Gray, do you know what I mean? So I don't really like names that can be shortened, so Landon, you're not going to shorten it to Land, do you know what I mean? So yeah, I just really like that name, Landon. I think it's just unique, and again timeless. They could grow up with it, which is the main thing as well. The last name I have for a boy is Parker. I actually really love this name. We were watching Superstore. Oh my goodness, there's literally just like all these names are from like TV shows. But yeah, we were watching Superstore, and I think like in the last season one of the main characters had a child and they called it Parker. And I just think it's such a nice name. I just think it's so cute. I think the only thing with Parker is quite like a baby name, so I don't know if I would like want them to grow up with Parker, because like I don't know any Parkers that are like older. I just like kind of think it's like Parker as a baby, but I also just really love the name, so I don't know, it might grow. And And then again, you can't really shorten it because you're not going to really call them Park. So yeah, it's kind of a name that can't be shortened, which is a really nice thing as well. But yeah, they're all my baby name suggestions. They're all the names that I loved but didn't use for a baby girl, and all the names I loved but didn't need for a baby boy. So yeah, I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I hope you got some inspiration for names. Maybe if you didn't even like take any of these names, like you maybe got like an inspiration for another name kind of off the back of one of these names. So yeah, I just hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give a big like down below. Comment down below some of your baby names that you didn't use but you loved, and subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in my next video. I hope you have a really good day. Bye!